Hello and welcome back to the Other Voices video blogs with me, Michelle Ryan. We've touched down, we're here and in full swing for Other Voices London. We're here in the Wapping area of the East End of London. Absolutely loads going on for the 3 nights of live shows here. I'll be running around as usual in the background, covering the behind the scenes things that are going on here in London and exploring the area a little bit. This vlog is the first one, it's a bit of an intro. So just showing you how I got here and also taking a tour around the venue for this year's Other Voices London, and that is Wilton's Music Hall. Absolutely fascinating building, so I hope you enjoy. So everything started with a very early morning flight from Dublin into London Gatwick Airport. I should tell you, I'm not a very good flyer. This is usually how I look for any poor misfortunate person that sits next to me. Absolute vision during the flight, ears popping, not feeling so good, a lot of this face, a lot of complaining. An absolute joy to sit next to on a flight. But luckily nobody did on this one. Everybody else looking very calm, probably asleep. I don't get it. How do they do that? Anyway, we made it through and this is the landing. Only an hour-long flight into Gatwick. Very, very exciting.
We do welcome you to Gatwick Airport.
That's a bit of a relief. And the obligatory round of applause to the pilot. That's not where the journey ended though. Then we had to hop on to the Gatwick Express. That would take us into London City and taking in some of the views along the way. I'm sure that's an important building there somewhere. Then onto the tube, which is tricky business and where we start to look a little bit like confused tourists. But we got it. We got our train and on we went to the East End of London to get Other Voices started. So first things first, where I have to take you is this year's venue for Other Voices London, and that is Wilton's Music Hall. Just look at this place. Absolutely steeped in history and full of character. It's going to make for a fantastic venue for the 3 nights of live shows, and that is Friday, Saturday and Sunday night. And of course, the big red truck, that is the production truck, where all the production goes on during the live shows. And Caroline, the set designer's hearts, making it over to London as well, on the stage at Wilton's Music Hall, and it's set around the very old venue and looking absolutely amazing. Some very familiar faces there. That is of course Chloe and Rory, featured in previous video blogs, so they're off the hook for this one. I'm sure they're glad. And of course then, all your usual technical stuff, some sort of sound desk, a lot of wires there, and the best seats in the house. Oh yeah, very lucky people who get the cushioned seats. Not sure who they're reserved for, someone very important no doubt. There's a very comfy looking stool. So through here is where people will be making their way into the music hall, and there's a sneak little peek at a sound check that's going on at the moment. This was on Friday, and this is Stornoway who are performing live on Friday night. Will no doubt be a brilliant performance from these guys on Friday night, as they will play to a packed out venue. So as I've mentioned, Wilton's is an interesting place. Stuff hanging on every wall, interesting little things to look at. You could spend hours, I think, going through this building. A lot of little secret hidden passageways and things like that. And these little cool things, you can't really explain them, but they're fun to look at. So instead of me trying to go around and figure out what everything is that's hanging on the walls, I'm going to get Chris to do this for us.
Okay, so my name's Chris and I'm going to be giving you a bit of a tour of our wonderful venue here at Wilton's Music Hall. We're starting in the bar. This is the Mahogany Bar, reportedly the first bar in London to install a mahogany bar and fittings. We unfortunately don't have that bar anymore. This one's plaster, a little bit of plywood, and there's a bit of MDF thrown in there as well. It doesn't quite have the same ring as the Mahogany Bar.
Previously the Mahogany Bar.
Previously the Mahogany Bar, but still known as such. It's been here since about 1723, maybe earlier, and as such it's showing a few signs of wear and tear. We have a lovely prop in the bar just here. That's an acro prop. That's there to make sure that the upstairs part of this bar remains the upstairs and doesn't come crashing down.
FYI, do not sit under that.
So we've got to wait here just a couple of minutes because they're filming someone important inside the library just through there.
And Chris was right, it was indeed somebody very important.
You happy, Jay?
Yeah, we're rolling.
Happy, John?
Happy, thanks.
Happy, Stephen?
Good to go.
You have the room.
This is when Morris and his crew were filming the beautiful acoustic set with Laura Mvula.
Okay, so just round here through the entrance hall. This is our foundation stone for the music hall, just down here. Was laid in 1858 by John Wilton's wife, who must have been an enormous woman because this is a very, very big stone. It is dedicated to the god Apollo, and it talks of this hall through here as being a shrine to gentle music. Quite how much gentle music we're going to be getting from other voices this weekend, I don't know, but it's nice to know that we're still being in some way faithful to the inscription on here. Okay, let's go upstairs, I'll show you up. This is our mezzanine area. There are loads of stories about all the sort of naughty stuff that would have happened up here in the Victorian times.
Maybe we won't go into that, Chris.
A bit more subdued these days, but we do have our cocktail bar just through here. Production office, probably full of really important people doing loads of important stuff.
And hidden very well behind that very realistic looking library secret door just there.
Of course, the main attraction will probably have to be quite quiet. There's sound checks and all sorts going on, but here we go into the main hall. The world's oldest surviving grand music hall, still being used for its intended purpose. So here we have a wall which is full of loads of photographs of Wiltons through the ages and a load of stories and reviews. It was actually only a music hall from 1859 through till the 1880s. We have a 4-year gap where we've got absolutely no idea what was going on in the hall. That was from the 1880s through to 1884, where one day in 1884 Mr. and Mrs. Reginald Ratcliffe were wandering down Grace's Alley, the alleyway that leads on to Wilton's, and they heard a cacophony of noise coming from inside the music hall and felt compelled by God to come and buy a ticket and find out what was going on. When inside, they saw sights so indescribable that when asked to describe them, they couldn't bring themselves to do so. We've later found out that what they saw happening inside Wilton's music hall was naked female prize fighting. This spurred on the Methodists to get involved and actually bought the music hall in 1889 and had it through until the 1950s. Quite when we'll be bringing the naked female prize fighting back, I couldn't tell you. But
that was going to be my next question.
It's on the agenda.
So this is the very securely put together door of the next area of Wilton's music hall where Chris was going to take me.
Secret entrance.
And this is the part where I began to worry a little bit. Where exactly is he taking me? Ah yes, the basement. Nothing quite like following someone you just met into a creepy basement.
But here we are actually underneath the main hall now. All the interesting music stuff going on up there.
As well as this teacup.
Are we under the stage right now?
We are underneath the main floor
Okay.
of the music hall. We can hear them rehearsing up there, but right above us, just here, is where all the punters would be standing, sitting. Or...
We didn't stay down there too long. Moving along, we actually passed the green room. This is where all the artists will be hanging out before they take to the Other Voices stage.
And
Stage door just through here. Mic control door.
Onto the Other Voices stage.
Smashing machines and everything.
Oh, but there was more. This really is the never-ending building.
it just keeps going.
Just keeps on going. Right, might need to scramble.
We went to the basement, then why not go to the roof of Wilton's music hall? We crawled over things and climbed a number of rickety ladders.
So here we are, up on the roof of Wilton's music hall. Here. So wonderful.
And from the roof of Wilton's music hall, a view of part of East End of London. Just this part. The roof of something there.
Okay, so I've probably shown you every nook and cranny that there is of this building, but of course if you'd like to see more, then one of the best ways for you to come down, have a drink. We're open quite often, or of course if you fancy you can't get down to London, then download our app. Wilton's Music Hall has the Wilton's Mystery app. It's a 3D graphical representation of the entire building. It's also a game. You can explore every bit that I've shown you so far.
Thanks for that, Chris. Brilliant tour. That is Wilton's Music Hall, the venue for Other Voices London's live shows, and also just a very cool place to pop down for a little poke around. Maybe not the basement or the roof, but there's plenty of other places you can come and see.